Is the mic on? Episode 152, What's Wrong with Orny Adams? My guest today is Tom Arnold, who needs an introduction. I hate when people say he needs no introduction.
Yeah.
It's the laziest thing you can do.
Yeah.
We both just got back from Albuquerque, New Mexico. I toured all over New Mexico. You're a country boy. I have been in very few places. I drove 200 miles from Santa Fe to a place called Alto, New Mexico, or Reduso. These people get so angry. I'm pronouncing Alto. It's really Alto.
Okay.
They're correcting me everywhere. There's Madrid, New Mexico. I pronounce it Madrid.
Of course.
Angry.
Yeah.
I was in a place called Reduso. I still can't say.
Yeah.
I do a video. I'm from out of town. I do a video.
Right.
The criticism.
Yeah.
I've been canceled in Reduso, wherever this place
is that why you do it, for the criticism?
I
mean, doesn't that...
It's a fun little troll.
When people are like, my feelings are so hurt. Somebody on social media was mean to me. I'm like, you should not be on social media.
Yeah.
And you got a lot going to have somebody hurt your feelings. But I know what that's like pronouncing. If I spelled my hometown, you wouldn't be able to pronounce it.
What is it?
It's Ottumwa. How would you spell that?
What is it?
Ottumwa, Iowa.
Ottumwa,
Iowa. How do you spell Ottumwa?
Okay, I'm going to tell you. I know. It's PSYUND. Yeah. What is it? That Native American?
Yeah. All the names are back there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I grew up outside of Boston, Massachusetts.
Right.
And we have like towns like, can you pronounce WOBURN?
I can't even remember what you just said. WOB. What else?
URN.
No.
Well, everyone, it's...
Wob.
Right.
Or...
Right.
Robert.
Right.
Okay.
It's Woburn.
Oh, okay.
No, only people from Boston can say, it rolls off our tongue in such a way.
Yeah.
So if I meet somebody, I'm like, where are you from? They're like, Boston. I'm like, say WOBURN. They're like, Woburn.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you'd think that these people could use the fact that I don't know how to pronounce their town.
Yeah.
And they get all worked up. I love it. But here's the thing. Nobody told me. I drove from Santa Fe to...
That's a nice area. That's here.
I don't know. There's very few states I've ever been in where I look around, I think, I might be the hottest person here.
Yeah. Yeah. You mean temperature-wise?
No, I mean like looks. Like I look around, I'm like, wow.
Yeah. No, yeah, they do. You were the best groomed, too.
Yeah, I was like...
you care about yourself.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah.
These people were like looking at me like, who's the soap star?
Yeah, shit. That's really good.
Look at the guy from General Hospital is in town. But I just want to say this. I drove 200 miles.
Yep.
Rural.
Yeah.
Like a road.
By yourself?
Yes.
See, that's where you want kids. You don't want them in that beautiful house of yours.
Yeah, they're not
But in the back of the car, driving rural stuff, because they're like, wow, we don't get to see this very often.
Yeah, but 200 miles, one gas station.
Yeah.
Nobody warned me. It's scary.
Yeah.
So I didn't fill up. I don't have cell service. It's all cattle on either side.
Does this end with you getting raped by a bunch of dudes?
Well, I was going to build it up a little more.
What was that movie?
Deliverance.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was
that would have been pretty funny.
No canoe.
The soap star is here, boys. Yeah. So what'd you do? Did you run out of gas?
I almost did.
Yeah.
I started shutting the air conditioning. I went neutral. They don't tell you all the technology we have, right? The phones, GPS.
Yes.
Shouldn't it say, hey, before you get on this road, it's 100 and something miles before you see a gas station?
Yes.
So the technology failed me.
Yeah. But how did you know you were almost out of gas?
Because I'm in a rental.
Yeah.
It says 80 miles left, range 80 miles.
Right.
Now, I don't know. That could be 40 in this rental.
Yeah, right.
It could be 150. I don't know the car. So I'm 40 minutes in to this road. I'm like, there's not a sign.
Yeah.
There's not a driveway.
Right.
There's no lines. It's one car down a rural road. You stop, you urinate, you talk to cows.
Why do you have to stop to urinate? Don't you have one of those bags? I got these bags in my car now. If I drive to San Diego or something, put it right over here. It's the kind of bags you get if you have a private airplane with no potty in it. Or the potty is
That's not a private airplane as far as I'm concerned. That's a friend with a prop plane.
They have somewhere it's under your seat, and if you're with people, you have to lift it up as a toilet.
So wait a minute. You're like my gardeners. You're going to piss in like a Coke bottle and throw it on the side of the road? Yeah,
I would. But you have to have something And I'm not saying this because I think I have a big penis, but you have to have a wide mouth model just for, because it's hard. It's hard. It seems like it's easy
Yeah.
to do it on the road, but you got to pull, in my case, because I had to pull my pants all the way down.
Where are you at?
to
Like a
do it.
Gatorade, like a 20-ounce Gatorade bottle? 'Cause
Those will work.
That
Those
will work for you.
Yeah.
I can't.
But you got to aim it down. You still, it could be problems.
It's a problem for me. I
Because
don't-
you're also driving at 100 miles an hour.
But why not stop?
Yeah.
I love stopping
Yeah.
and just.
Well, they do have a good rest stop 30 miles north of San Diego. Now, head to San Diego, you get your Disneyland, Legoland, San Diego Zoo, other stuff.
Yeah.
The comedy stores down there at Loya.
Yeah, that's great.
So there's things that you do, and there's a beautiful rest stop 30 miles this way. It's lit up well, it's clean. You can take your kids.
Right.
They got machines, but there's not.
Oh.
God damn it.
Oh, a little technical.
But there's not that many things like that. So, I wanted to go back on you on something. Did I break this?
No, it's okay.
God damn it.
It's okay.
You see, but everything.
You know what I think is so funny
meticulous.
is when like major. I consider you a celebrity.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, you're a big deal.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that, but I'm
like
famous.
Jay Leno
Yeah.
did this.
Yeah.
He drives up here.
Yeah.
He's a professional like you. Every pro is
Yeah.
on time.
Yeah.
There's no
I hate
complications.
being on time.
There's no
I
request.
hate being late.
Yes.
Yeah. But I also ask a lot of questions. What exactly is your address? So I can plan it out.
Yeah.
Because I'm a little on the spectrum. I have Asperger's. So I have to plan out, like taking my kids to school this morning. Go over there, get them there at 8:10, and then I went over and tried to buy some T-shirts somewhere. Like it's all scheduled. I got something in the back of my car in case I could go by Whole Foods and return something for Amazon. Like I got Plan B, how I'm going to do. Now they get out of school at 1:50 today. Then we have a ice cream social because they signed their yearbooks.
Yeah.
So I planned that out. How long is it going to take here? I took advantage. I was here a couple minutes early, so I was making some calls about T-shirts. And but I have to. Being late, it just freaks me out, and especially if it's something I could have prepared for better.
All I can think of is the person waiting for me.
Yeah,
and I panic. I'd rather be an hour early.
Yeah,
Dude,
an hour early is not good.
By the way, I'll beat your story. Jay Leno drove up the night before.
I'm sure he did.
Just to sort of.
He's a weirdo.
It's
He's
just
a weirdo.
yeah.
No, he's great. He's a great comedian.
He calls
he's
me.
a weird dude.
I'm at your house. I go, we're doing this tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because Tiffany Haddish showed up a day early.
Yeah, of course.
And
a dollar late.
Yeah, she had no. I go, no, we're doing this tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then you're in panic mode because you're like, is she going to come back tomorrow?
Yeah.
Should I just record it now?
Yeah, no, that's the right move.
Yeah.
Is that what you did?
No.
Oh, shit.
She came back.
Yeah.
And then we did it.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
we had to redo it because she wasn't comfortable with it.
Okay.
Which is fine.
Yeah. How many times you had to do that?
Just one time. And it was better. I think she was in an interesting headspace.
Right.
Something was happening.
Right. It's like reshooting a scene that you know is not as good as it should
If I was a listener, I'd want the first take.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't imagine ever saying, hey, by the way, take that down for the podcast or whatever. Because my thing is I won't even like this is my moment with you. I don't have to listen to it after this. Right. This is it. I get a lot out of this thing that's happening here.
No, but what happens is comics will come on, they'll badmouth like a comedy club or like an owner, and then they get home and they go, oh, I better not, you know.
God.
But that's what I love about you is you have no filter. And we just start talking.
Yeah.
And I'll just ask you questions, random questions, and you
Give me
answer.
random answers.
No, I think you're incredibly open, which is why I enjoy watching your stand-up comedy.
Right. Thank you.
A lot of people I look at on stage, I'm like, yeah, they're funny, but what is that?
Yeah.
It's not them.
Yeah.
It's not honest.
Right.
It's not real.
Yeah. You can't Google it and find out that it's true.
Yeah.
A lot of my stuff you can. So, and a lot of my stuff now is being an older dad and, being in court with their mom for 8 years.
Wait a minute. How many have you been through?
4 divorces I have. Wow. And you can have 3 divorces and still kind of go, women,
Yeah.
But if you have 4, you go, holy shit, it's me. And it is me. I haven't had a date in 8 years, but it's 100% on me.
Yeah.
So but I'm very blessed because I always wanted a family. I got these kids. It's
how many you got?
2, 12-year-old boy, 9-year-old girl. And it's a lot of work. It's the best thing gives me more self-esteem than anything.
Do you feel like if you had kids when you were younger, you'd have more energy? And
I know,
it'd
I'd be
a better
terrible.
situation?
Well,
Really?
first of all, I'd be all fucked up.
Yeah.
When I was 18, I worked on the kill floor of a meatpacking plant back in Tom, Iowa. I worked there 3 years after high school to save money, so I go to college at the University of Iowa. Because I'm like, they got a stage up there. I'll be up there 6 minutes and I'll be famous like crazy. But
that's what we all think.
Yeah, but which is good. It's good we were that crazy early. The shit that we used to do for nothing, sleep on people's couches, drive all the shit, to do 10 minutes, for $5 or whatever.
That's the other thing. You're stand-up.
Yeah.
You're legit. You're not a guy that did a sitcom.
Yeah.
Did some movies.
Right.
And when I saw you with Schwarzenegger and what was that? True Lies.
Yeah.
Blew me away.
Yeah.
I go, Tom Arnold's, he's a real deal.
Yeah.
This guy knows how to act. And your stand-up equally. Like I'm telling you, my listeners should definitely go see your shows.
Yeah.
I'm sure the information's up on your website. And
It
stuff
is
like
TomArnoldComedy.com, I think.
Yeah. So
Does that sound right? Could it be .com or dot? Okay. It's we'll get it to you.
I feel like if people can't find where you are, they're not going to be able to find the club.
Right.
Like it's like these people. Like sometimes you get off stage and you're sitting there selling merch, which is pathetic enough as it is.
Oh, I love it.
And then people are like, where's the bathroom?
No, I love it.
Where's the bathroom?
Yeah. Two things that I'm doing 100 shows between now and whenever the fall. I haven't done anything like this specific tour for a long time. It's called My Crazy Ex-Wife Tour, and I have a lot of. There's no joke comic shows like. I need the money. I have legal bills. No, I need the money.
So you do. That's why I was wondering if that's why you're back on the road.
It is, and my kids, planning their schedule stuff, but they get it. Like during COVID, during our strike, I wasn't working a lot, or I go to Europe for 3 weeks to film something.
Yeah.
Which is hard for them, but they also know Dad's got to get back. Dad needs to do this, and they think it's a real tour, and so they can, there'll be times they have to go with me, but
really?
They're not. But they're not making a big deal out of it. It's okay.
So, what type of venue did you play in Albuquerque?
It was at a casino, and you know how you couldn't pronounce something, and Quesara? No, it's named
Quesadilla?
After. That's what I think.
Yeah,
but it's named after. A guy, I think, that started the club. And it's a great, let me tell you something, man.
Yeah.
It's a great club. Packed, people that have been there before. These people know they've been to this club before. They're out. They just great.
Yeah, they reached out to me. Those people reached out to me.
Yeah, I liked it. And you know what else I liked? I sold tickets and I got a big bonus. Because sometimes you go in there to places. And first of all, the owner's like, I go, it's full. Well, that it looks like it's full. You're like, okay, fucker.
Or we always sell out.
Yeah.
But if you don't sell out, you'll hear about it.
Yeah,
I thought you guys always sold out.
Yeah, that's stressful. You have to sell tickets. For me, it feels like it could be very embarrassing, or nobody likes you, or whatever. But so far, so good.
Yeah,
and I'm really grateful. So I go out all over the country.
But here's the dirty little secret, and a lot of comics won't admit this. A lot of us don't sell tickets at times, and there's some cities.
No,
so,
you're right.
I was in Chicago, and I play an area called Schaumburg every January.
I know.
February.
Well,
I sell it out.
Big balls out there and shit.
I sell it out.
Is that where the Nazis live? The Schaumburg, the ones that protest on the street.
I don't know. No.
No, that's another town there.
That was
in
like
Shaker Heights.
Shaker Heights is Ohio.
Okay. Yeah, I'm wrong. There's probably Nazis there too, but they'd have the marches.
Are you really Jewish?
I am Jewish.
Is that like you're legit?
Well, my mom was Jewish. So.
Yeah, but your mom was Jewish, which makes you Jewish by Jewish law.
Yeah.
But she was an alcoholic and walked out on the family.
Drug addict, married 7 times.
Yeah, that negates being Jewish.
Not raise me.
That's the least.
Here is the thing that you have to understand, because Jews, oh God, it's my leg shaking.
Okay,
there was a thing where people would be alcoholics or drug addicts or have crime things, and we'd be like, our people don't do that. We don't. We don't have the child sex thing problem that these Catholics have or whatever. And it turns out every every religion has
Yeah.
some sort of
No, that's just
thing.
the Jews in Matobola. Wherever.
Yeah.
What? How do you spell it?
A tumwa.
A Tumblr.
Yeah. And here-
ATT.
OTTUMWA. And let me tell you how I can tell a few from Iowa. What's the nation's capital? Say it.
Des Moines.
No, nation's capital.
Oh, Washington.
Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Washington.
That's how you say
DC.
it?
Yeah. The washing machine.
Is there any difference between Iowa and New Mexico?
People that do very well in Iowa and have good lives end up in New Mexico.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's so much, the
That's a
weather is so
step
much
up?
better. I met a whole bunch of people from Iowa. Oh, it's definitely a step up.
So you grow up, you work in a meatpacking.
Cornell. Yeah.
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 And you were getting into a story there, which I think
Oh,
led to drugs.
my girlfriend, I was trying to figure out how people were happy working there. And they're people happy, and it was the best job in town, but still, I realized they have families.
Yeah.
This is their job. This isn't their life. You know, a lot of them were farmers that had to work there too, but they have families, so they could joke around. And my 17-year-old girlfriend said she was pregnant. And I'm like, well, here you go. This is what's meant to be. And I go down to her father. She lived in Missouri, Queen City, Missouri. And I have to tell her father, who's like, I swear to God, 6'8". He hated me before.
Yeah.
Big farmer. Hey, I'd like to ask for your daughter's hand of marriage. Anyway, it turned out she was lying. And when I found out that, I was so relieved because I thought, I got another chance.
Yeah.
I got another chance. The father I would have been then, you know, my dad was 18 when I was born. My mom was 16. And my dad is a very solid individual. He's one that raises. But having my first child at 54, I was like, this is when it's supposed to happen. This is perfect.
Yeah.
And my daughter's at 56. Like, it's perfect. And I'm cognizant of the fact I'm 66, right?
Yeah.
And my kids deserve, you know, energy and fun and those things. And I think I give that to them, no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what. I don't, every day my son's like, Daddy, we play basketball? I say, yeah. I don't say in 20 minutes. I say, okay, let's do it. My daughter's like, Daddy, will you play with me? Yes. What are we going to play? Squishmallows, whatever that is. And so my next relationship will be better. These kids are my best relationship I've ever had.
Maybe that's all you
need. I think so. But I've learned to be more patient. I've learned to do stuff that makes no sense to me. Not only that, but to love it.
So it really does change your life.
It does.
Yeah.
It's the biggest, I can't even explain it. You know.
Were you prepared? Did you have a backup plan if you hated having kids?
Oh, no, I knew I'd love it.
Okay.
There's no backup plan. If you have kids and you realize you hate it, tough shit, man.
Yeah.
It's not about you. You've put these kids in the situation. Now, I believe kids come here fully formed. And it's our job to protect them, nurture them, but also figure out what they want to do and make that happen for them.
Yeah, I consider them adults. The second they're born. I caught a woman breastfeeding in my show, and I said, no outside food or drinks.
That's
I
funny.
don't think these are people.
Yeah.
These are people.
Yeah. Have you ever tasted breast milk?
Yeah, when I was a kid. I assume.
No, I mean, yeah. Yeah, you a pregnant chick.
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah. It's interesting.
So wait a minute. So the girl's not pregnant. You don't have to marry her.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to keep trying to be a comedian. Now, the reason I'm a comedian is because when I was young, we were young, our dad, the only time we ever heard him really laugh was when there was a Bob Hope special on.
Yeah.
And Bob Hope was a guy in the 60s, early 70s, would go around to Vietnam, Korea, whatever, Frankfurt, Germany, entertain the troops. He brought beautiful women with him and did double entendre jokes that my dad loved.
Yeah.
So I said, whatever that Bob Hope does, that's what I'm going to do, because I want Dad to laugh. So one of the first things I did here in Hollywood was the Bob Hope special. And Bob Hope called my dad. He signed all this stuff for him. And then my dad, in the same living room where he used to watch Bob Hope on the TV when I was this big, he now sees Bob Hope standing next to me on the TV. And that's pretty magical. And then I'm like, well, what else could I? That's it. I've done everything.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, let's get back to the 17-year-old faking a pregnancy. Were you that much of a catch?
Well, I was in a band.
Oh.
You know, I looked a lot different than I do now. I've
seen the pictures.
Rocket. Long hair.
You look like those, like a religious band. You look like a Christian.
Well, I was, it was a different time. She was cute. I think she wanted to get out of not being with her family. I think she had issues because she married a guy named Frankie Farrell right after that, who was a drummer too. I was a drummer.
Oh.
He was a better drummer. I think he drummed for some big bands, but she was looking for something,
Yeah.
and she was also more mature than me. Like, we started dating, like, sexually. Like, she'd be like, "You want to make love?" Like, yeah. Like, I could tell she'd had more experience in that area and sophisticated,
Does a Tomba, am I saying it incorrectly?
A Tumwa.
Yeah, because it's all what I want to do is piss off another region of this
Yeah.
country with
They don't care.
mispronunciation.
Nobody
Yeah,
cares.
good.
Nobody
I want to
does.
go there. But does it live up to the cliches? Because like people are getting married when they're 17. Didn't your
My sister was 14.
14? Like
Had a baby. Got married.
How is that really?
Well, I think it's more in the past. My dad's generation. My sister was obviously after that. By the way, there's a documentary series about my little sister called The Queen of Meth. And my little sister was the biggest drug dealer in America. It's a pretty good documentary series. So
Yeah, it's on Hulu,
or what? Yeah.
Amazon,
And people are like, was it embarrassing having your sister be a drug dealer? And I'm like, no, when I was doing drugs, it wasn't embarrassing. Pretty fucking handy.
What were you doing?
Everything. And that's the thing. She started this business. Our mom dealt little prescription shit. And my sister idolized her, but she also was very competitive. And so she realized, I'm going to do this drug thing bigger and better than everyone. She was very smart.
Yeah.
And she built this empire. She had an underground lab because she was tired of coming out here to deal with the Mexican mafia. She said, I'm going to build this all in-house. She got a real scientist down there. Everybody went crazy, of course.
How was her meth good?
She says it was very good.
You didn't.
I tried, she gave me this. Meth was not my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Because you snorted it, you're like, why isn't this cocaine? It's coke, but without the euphoria, and you really needed the euphoria in my mind,
Right.
because I was also drinking a lot. I will say, meth, if you're wasted, like my younger sister, who's a school teacher for 30 years. I have two sisters. One went to prison, one school teacher. The school teacher is way crazier than my sister, my older. And she'd come in. My sister had a bar called the Wild Side. And we'd all go down there, everybody's back for a holiday. And my little sister would be kind of a low-cut, short red dress, walk in there, all the bikers like, whoa. So she'd be all fucked up. And my big sister would take her to the bathroom, give her some bath, try to straighten her out. 'Cause my little sister is the mouthiest. Like, you mouth off at a biker bar like that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be nasty. And the older sister did a lot of protecting me and my friends, my preppy friends, from her husband and the other scumbag bikers, because they,
So she married a biker.
She did marry a biker. Her first,
Like a biker gang, like one of the
well, her first husband was 22. She was 14, and it's awful. Like, he's a pedophile. Like, my mom said, "Here's your choices: break up with him," which a 14-year-old girl's not going to do.
Right.
I could have him arrested, which she's like, no, or marry him. And then she's 14. She's like, oh, I will marry him. So my mom drove them down to Missouri because you could get married if your parents were there back then at 14.
And how old are you at this time?
16.
And what are you thinking?
I'm fucking, you think it's crazy. When I found out about it, because we were both living with our mom. I moved in with our mom because my dad had a lot of rules. I wanted to grow my hair. I wanted to drink. I wanted to do drugs. I wanted to do whatever. There's
And
no
what's he
rules.
doing? Is he drinking and drugs too?
No.
No, he was straight.
No, he's clean. He's the pillar. If you know our hometown, he's like the head of the Chamber of Commerce, the Cancer Society. Very respected man, and his family, very respectable people.
Is he still alive?
He is not. He is not. He died like 2 weeks before my daughter was born. So, you feel sad for him. And I'll tell you, where I'm from, a lot of men, farmers, whatever, they know they're sick and they just keep walking and then one day die. That's sort of what it is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of suicide back there too because of the farm thing. You don't hear about it a lot, but I give out scholarships to my old college, and I have people write an essay of the worst moment of their life, whatever. And then I would read this stuff like a 15-year-old girl had to take over her dad's farm because he killed himself. So my dad worked. He retired at 65 from a plant where he worked. And then he worked next day at the hospital with his buddies for $10 an hour, delivering fluids, body parts, whatever. And so he's working at a hospital, but he won't go to the doctor. And he'd had some issues. And I called him on a Wednesday night, and I could tell his breathing was, he's like,
Labored.
I go, Dad, you got to go. You got to go up to Des Moines, the hospital.
Yeah.
There's something up. And he's like, well, Tommy, the mobile oncology unit's going to be here in 3 months. I'm going to wait. And I'm like, no. So I called an ambulance, have him taken up to Des Moines. I fly in that Thursday morning. I talk to the oncologist. He's like, Jesus, he has cancer everywhere. I have no idea how he's even walking around. So I was grateful that I was there, and he had 4 days. You don't always get to be there. And so I got to kind of take care of him for 4 days, be in charge of stuff, and, had some good conversations. But he was, he did, and this, I swear this happened. He's in there, and me and my 4 younger brothers, right? And
Whoa, now we have 4 younger brothers too?
Yeah.
Wait, are these all the same?
No.
These are stepbrothers?
My dad made 3 of them.
Yeah.
And the next door neighbor, my dad married the next door neighbor lady when I was 10.
Okay.
And she had kids, but we know them since they were.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
yeah. Actually, the one that's not my dad's kid is the most solid. He's a farmer. He owns 9 car washes, Johnny. But we're in there, and, everybody's like, wow, what is happening here? Want to put on a good face for Dad. And Dad has to go to the bathroom. And so my younger brothers scatter because they're huge pussies. And I'm like, fuck it. This man took me to the bathroom. This guy, when I was that big, I'm going to do. So I pick him up, and I put him on the toilet. And I'm like, he's there, and he does his business. And I get the toilet paper. And I'm like, I'm going to do this. Like, man, I'm going to wipe his ass. Like, I'm not going to. Because he has done it for me. And, he's on this medication. So I'm like, is he a front wiper or back wiper? Okay, leap of faith. I go right between his legs, and our eyeballs are that far apart. And I really had looked for a moment with my dad in the hospital where I could tell him I love him.
Yeah.
He'd always, I appreciate him. I try to be like him. And our eyeballs are this far apart. And I'm doing this, and I think that was the moment. And then I carry him back in, and about 3 hours later, our stepmother gets up to the hospital. And Dad's got to use the potty again. He's got some. And so I pick him up, bring him in there, set him on the toilet. I'm getting the toilet paper ready. And my stepbrother's like, Tommy, what are you doing? I go, yeah, I'm going to wipe Dad's ass. He's like, why? He wipes his own ass. I go, oh, fuck. I didn't know he could. Honest to God.
Yeah.
And I did not know, but I was ready. I'll do whatever.
Well, why didn't he tell you when you were doing it?
I think they had him on a lot of medication.
Yeah.
I don't think he thought I would do it.
Do you think he didn't get medical help because it's like a sign of weakness in Iowa? It's not masculine.
I think my dad thought it was expensive to be alive after a certain point. He was, he was an accountant, a CPA. He, figured out a lot of stuff. He was an industrial engineer. And I think he was always saying, well, if you live this long, this is what you get.
Yeah.
But he was scared too, and he apologized to me. And he had just sat up and said, I've made so many mistakes. I'm so sorry. And I knew that the mistake he was talking about was my stepmother, because before he married her, he asked us kids, there was 3 of us said, if he could marry her. And I loved our dad, and he couldn't date in our small town with 3 little kids.
Yeah.
And we said yes. And she was not a fan of mine and wanted me out of the house. It was pretty brutal physically. Like, my dad never spanked us. My dad's mother ironed his underwear when he was in college. Like, that's their family. And she would have him.
They seem like the Jewish side, but they're not.
I know,
It's
that's
so
true.
bizarre.
The Jewish side, like me, worked in the pork processing plant.
Are you anti-Semitic after this experience?
There's some Jews I don't like, I'll tell you that for sure. But, Toma and my grandpa, who's Jewish, would say, let's keep this on the down low,
Yeah.
No need to. So there's not enough Jews to hate here, he kept saying. But they actually have.
There's no synagogue in the area.
Yeah, well, they actually do have a historic synagogue it's 100 years old, but nobody goes there. When they have the High Holy Days, Arnie Siegel from Arnie Siegel Western Wear was the rabbi. And this guy has the best commercial. You get this gene at this. And then in the back of his store, they'd have a real rabbi from Des Moines come down and do the services.
City.
Yeah.
Yeah, the big city.
And it was.
So while this lady, the stepmom, is beating you or spanking you.
And making my dad do it.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. And they would argue, he'd get off work every night, and I could hear her saying, "Tommy did this." She kept a list on the fridge of how many lashes, you know, and all the kids, but I got the most. And he'd be like, "Oh, Ruth, please, let's not." And she goes, "It's me or him."
What a horrible name,
Yeah,
Ruth.
I know. "It's me or him," she'd say. And I have to tell you this. I tried to make that relationship work because I wanted a mother. Like, you know,
where is your biological mother? at this point?
she left the family when I was 4. She's out getting married. She's so drunk. I never considered her a mother.
Right.
You know, she said, "I'm not maternal. I'll never tell you I love you. I might tap you on the knee once in a while." Once in a while, she would come over, and I was so excited because she'd give me $1. The whole reason for her to come over, and you knew she didn't want to come over, but she's like, "I got to give me $1." Back then, you could buy 10 big candy bars for $1 at Kid Grocery.
10 cents each. I just did the math.
So I'd wait for her to get there because I wanted the $1, to get the $1. And then we both knew neither of us wanted to hang out. Then she'd leave. I'd go up there and I'd line them up on my bed. I'd buy them and eat them all, which is part of probably my addiction.
Yeah.
But,
you know, Eric Clapton said his addiction started with chocolate.
oh, that's you hear that a lot. He's a good dude, man. He's got that place in Antigua, that rehab center.
Yeah, they all go down the crossroads and they
I've
play.
I've been there. Yeah.
Yeah, you know a lot of people.
Yeah.
You're a big deal.
But, you know, I'll tell you this, in sobriety, you meet a lot of cool people.
Right.
You know, you think you meet them when you're out doing drugs, and you do sometimes, but those aren't real relationships. It's after you've done the drugs and you're coming and you're trying to do this thing together where you have to be honest, rigorously or whatever, and you get some great relationships. And Eric Clapton, he's kind of a nut, kind of an older nut guy about COVID and stuff, but he's done so many great things for people. And at his rehab center in Crossroads, a certain amount are scholarships, local guys, you know, the black guys that don't have anything, don't have teeth. They come into and then the rich people pay big money.
Yeah.
But then you get you know, when I was down there, my group, I had a guy from a local guy who called me T-Bone. And his the last time he drunk before he came in, he lost his teeth because he set him down on a street and they got run over.
Yeah.
So he had no teeth.
Can't
He was embarrassed, you know. And so I bought him teeth. I almost got kicked out. You're not supposed to exchange money or whatever. And I said, "How much it cost to get a guy out there?" It wasn't much. It was like $800, but give him a new set of choppers.
That's nice.
But also he was so funny, and it's so good to hear, you know, his version of.
So he's sober now.
Yes.
I guess at a certain age, you kind of have to.
And I have to say, the nurses and stuff who were local, they put up with less shit from a guy like him.
Yeah.
Somebody they probably knew out there. You know how they are, the familiarity. Like, you better act, there's good people here. You better get your shit together. Don't embarrass us in front of the white people from America. And
I ran into Clapton once.
yeah.
I was just walking down La Brea. And, you know, Clapton and the Stones got me through high school.
Yeah.
You know, this is right when the Sony Walkman came out,
Oh,
which
yeah.
I consider the first thing that destroyed society, because that was the first time you could just close yourself out to the
Yeah.
world. And I'd
Yeah.
walk around with these little red foam headsets,
Yeah.
and I'd listen to, you know, Tattoo
But don't you
You.
love closing yourself up from
I
the world?
do now,
I can
but I
tell
don't
you
think it's
do,
healthy.
because the way you live here.
Yeah, also, like, I just
It's like a doomsday bunker. You know what I mean?
But I'm the exact opposite of that.
Yeah.
But, you know, you're right. Like Clapton, kind of like went a little nutty during COVID with Van Morrison.
Yes,
and,
yes.
You know,
Two
we
of my
got
heroes.
Yeah, right. We got
And
Bruce.
I'm like, come on, guys.
And
But I
even-
know.
it-
They're
like-
old guys. That happens.
Yeah, but I mean, it happens on every end of the spectrum too. You got Bruce Springsteen, and
Yeah,
like it's
I
weird.
love Bruce.
I love Bruce, and God, I love Bruce. That guy, he's unbelievable. Like for a while, I hated Bruce because I was such a Dylan fan.
Oh,
And
that's interesting.
I thought he was stealing
Did you
from
see
Dylan.
the Dylan movie?
Never.
Oh, it's so fucking
Would
good.
never.
That guy's so good, and it pays homage to Dylan's music. Dylan cooperated it. You know, the
You
kid
know
did
who
a good
pays
job.
homage to Dylan's
Who?
music? Dylan.
Yeah,
But you want to know what? We have
Yeah.
video of every
Yeah.
scene that they did.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to see. Nobody can be Dylan. Dylan is so unique.
Yeah, I loved it though, because I did not expect Timothy Chalamet
Yeah.
to be anywhere near. And, you know, because I know so much about Dylan, like you, and worshipped him.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I was in a band was we got to play a bunch of his songs back in Iowa. But I just thought that it took a while. I didn't watch it at first because I like that. But then when I watched it, I could feel myself because his music is all over it. Once the music starts, you're like, okay, this is. And he blessed it. You know, Dylan likes to work.
Yeah.
You know, and so the fact that he like this, and I'm sure he got paid, that made me happy.
Yeah, I don't know if he needs more money, but
No,
and
no.
I'm sure Timothy was a great actor. I'm sure it's great. I just like it's such a hardcore Dylan. I've quietly loved Dylan for years. I don't like the people that are vocal about
Yeah.
it. And I became very close to Gary Shandling, who was my mentor.
Oh yeah, Gary, good. Yeah.
And Gary knew because we had a lot of private conversations. And he said, "I'm gonna take you to Dylan. I'm gonna introduce you to Dylan."
Yeah.
And I said, did he ask to meet me? Because, like maybe he saw something. Who
Yeah,
knows?
you never know.
Like you do like a Tonight Show.
Yeah.
There's people watching.
That's very true.
You do specials. There's people like maybe. And he said, no. I said, I don't want to meet him because it's just, and that's what I felt when I saw Clapton.
But
Clapton.
you didn't do it then.
I didn't do it.
You didn't do it because that would have been a double. You got Gary Shandling taking you to Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
And I bet Dylan knew who Shandling was.
Oh no, that they were. Yeah, they knew each other.
Yeah, and then
Shandling was hosting the Emmys or the something when Dylan was on and got the Lifetime Achievement, and Jack Nicholson was behind him laughing because Dylan looked like he was all stoned, and he's like, "My father," and he's playing with his hat. My father, had said many things. My father told me once. He goes, "My father," and he's taking that. First, they give him the trophy, and he walks off without a speech, and Jack is sitting there with
like
a couple
Joe
of hot
Biden.
chicks going, "What is going on?" They put him back. They prop up. He goes, "My father," and he's playing with his hat. Told me once. And then there's a long pause.
Yeah.
He goes, "Well, my father told me many things."
Yeah. He actually is funny too.
He's
as
funny.
you know that and a lot of times musicians, their stories are better than comics. Their road stories. You hang out with those guys that have been on the road doing all this stuff. You hang out with the band, they tell you shit. I mean, it's they also love comedians.
Yeah.
Like we love musicians.
Well, they get us.
Sports stars, of course.
They get the rhythm. They get what we're doing. Dylan is the one guy that I want to interview.
Yeah.
That I think I understand Dylan.
Right.
And I watch everyone interview him and I go, they're doing it wrong.
Right.
They're doing it wrong.
Of course you do.
He doesn't want to be fawned over.
Yeah.
He doesn't I think I could ease into.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people would watch the interview and go,
Well, no, they watch the interview no matter what.
they'd watch it and
Let's
go,
be honest.
Yeah, but they'd watch it and go, I don't, what's he doing? They're just talking about gardening for an hour. Like I could talk to Dylan just about gardening and it would reveal more than these people like, you're the voice of your generation.
Yeah.
When you wrote at 22, Blowing in the Wind or whatever, like he doesn't want to hear that shit.
Yeah. You could talk about Duluth, where he started, and
Hibbing.
how cold it is, and the mines up there, and what his original name was.
You know who else was from there?
Who?
McHale from the Boston Celtics. Same time. There's like 3 famous people from Hibbing.
Oh, that's right. Did he play at Minnesota University?
I think he did. Kevin
let me tell
McHale.
you, what's great about the documentary is this: it reminds you of all the great things.
Which
that Bob
documentary?
Dylan's done. It's not a documentary,
movie,
but
yeah.
the movie you hate. It reminds you, oh shit, he did that, and that song, and this song. Because sometimes we forget. We just think, oh, they're great, and then when they get older, they kind of, But he was very important in what he did and kept doing it. It also showed a lot of his early personality, which I thought was very.
But we have all that on tape. You can look at Don't Look Back. You can look at the Scorsese documentary.
Yes, I've seen those.
We've seen all
But
this.
it's also
this video when he gets booed in England. I've seen it all.
But this is a different art form, and there's people that haven't seen that stuff. There's young people that want to see Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah,
and then they're like, fucking Bob Dylan is cool. They just go to see that kid, and then they're like, wow, Bob Dylan. Mom, Dad, have you heard of Bob Dylan? And then they do that. So I think that, I mean, it's hard to do. What are those things, docudramas or whatever?
A biography.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
I know a lot of Dylan fans that share your opinion. I'm different.
Yeah.
I've always been different.
I'll take whatever I can get.
So I'm walking down the street.
Yeah.
I just ate at this French restaurant on La Brea, and I look up, and there's Clapton.
Yeah.
It's Clapton. And, I had to say something.
And you were sure it was him.
100%.
Have you ever kind of thought somebody was somebody?
Yeah, I went up to somebody once I thought was Meatloaf. And it wasn't Meatloaf. That was a mistake. It was a horrible.
That's pretty great.
Yeah. And so I looked at...
Speaking of Meatloaf, right before he died, we do those Comic-Cons, where you say, he was next to me. And his wife's like, please talk him into getting the COVID vaccine because he's being all stubborn about it. I tried. I said, I got it. It's great. I almost died before I got it.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, no, I don't need that. And I noticed he didn't have a mask on. People were all lined up in a mask. And then he died like 2 weeks later from COVID.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you still get the vaccine?
Yes. I get the updates. I get all vaccines.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I went on a date recently, and she said, I'm not political. And then she said, but you didn't get the vaccine, did you?
No, I love anytime they say I'm not political, but they're totally political.
Right.
Yeah. My fourth ex-wife's like, I'm not anti-vax, but I'm doing my research. And I go, the kids get vaccinated.
Yeah.
I take them down, get them. Thank you for your opinion.
Yeah, thank you. I used to talk about this on stage where I was going to Florida during COVID, and I went to get the vaccine at the pharmacy, and she said, you just got the vaccine like a month ago. Why do you want it again?
Yeah.
I said, because I'm going to Florida, and they probably have a variant I'm not equipped for.
Yeah.
She said, well, have you had the flu shot?
Yeah.
And I said, no.
Oh,
She goes,
shit.
do you want it? I go, yeah, I'm going
of
to
course.
Florida.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She goes, have you had the tetanus shot in the last 10 years? I
Yep.
said, no. She goes, you want it? I go, yeah, I'm going to Florida.
Yeah, shingles. Did you get
Shingles. I go like this. I go, give me whatever you want.
I do. They have a vaccine board at CVS. And my daughter, who still likes to go to places with me, we go over there and I'll see new stuff like, what's that, RSVP? What can I get that? They'll give you 3 at a time down there, different things.
Yeah. You know, I get them ever since I was a kid. There was no chickenpox vaccine. My parents brought me to somebody's house and tried to get me sick.
Yeah,
like I've been traumatized.
That's a horrible idea.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll take a needle in the arm.
That's like throwing you in the middle of a pod and saying, okay, swim.
Yeah. So this is what happened. So Clapton, it's okay. Clapton's coming right at me. And I just looked at him like this. And I just said, thank you. And he got it all in that moment. And that was it. It was a perfect interaction.
He didn't say, for what?
Yeah, no, he said, no, I'm
For
meatloaf.
which thing? For which thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when I lived in Ottumwa, Iowa, on my 3rd year at the meatpacking plant, I started being like, why am I dreaming about this thing with Hollywood and comedy? And that's just not going to happen. That's impossible. No one has ever done that from here. And we went out to we had a disco in our town. Finally, the jailhouse. It wasn't much of a disco. We went out there, get wasted, come out of that at close time. Right in front of us on the street corner was Andy Kaufman. And I'm looking at him like, that's fucking, a taxi was on back then. And I'm like, wait a minute, how is he? So I go up to him and ask him why he's there. And he says, we had a women's wrestling event at the Coliseum. That's our big joint. Yeah. We have a lot of women's wrestling events. And he said he went to it, paid the women to stay longer, wrestle him, and then had school buses take the whole crowd to Happy Joe's Pizza.
Yeah.
Happy Joe's Pizza. And I'm like, that's the guy I want to be. He got here. He was 20 miles away at Maharishi International University studying transcendental meditation. Yeah. But he came to Ottumwa, Iowa, like whatever tube from Hollywood got him there. And so I'm like, well, then I could go back out there. But I also know something else. When people started gathering around him, he ended up running because it made him uncomfortable. And I talked to him a few times out here and reminded him, but he was a great, a brilliant guy, as you know.
So what got you into show business? Was it your dad laughing at Bob Hope?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
That's what I thought.
And, when you're young, you're crazy. Like you see, I did all the acting stuff you could do there. My grandma ran the community players, so I wanted to be with her. I'll do whatever. My first role was as one of the kids in The King and I. And I have a picture of it on one of my things. And the lady, we got programs. And so I went up to the woman that played Anna, who was the most beautiful woman, Mrs. Bickford, in my hometown. And I asked her to sign my program, and she kissed me on top of the head. And I remember thinking, if that's what you get from acting, I'm all in.
Yeah.
Because, you don't have a mom. You don't have, and I was like, wow, that feels good. And so you do everything you can in your town.
Are the comedy clubs close by?
No, there were no. I think after I became famous, I'd set up nights back there. I moved to Minneapolis because they had 5 comedy clubs, and after college, because we had real comedians come down to University of Iowa Student Unit and perform, I'd open up for them, And my 50 guy friends would come. We drink Everclear Punch, which is powdered Gatorade. And they'd laugh hysterically at me. And then we'd all leave. And then the real comics would come on. There'd be nobody there. So a guy named Scott, whatever, that had a comedy club up there, said, hey, if you get your friends to stay next month for the real comedians, I'll give you a job in Minneapolis. I'm like, you fucking A. That's what it is. So we did that. I got on a bus, I had a trash bag, I had $100. I didn't have a car, didn't have a license because of
how old are you?
drunk driving. 20, maybe 21, 22.
And you'd lost your license at this point?
Oh, yeah.
How
I
many?
lost my license when I was 16.
Really? How many?
3 drunk drivers.
And you're not even old enough to drive at that point, right?
No, the
16?
first 3 times I got arrested for anything. I was 14, because back I could drive a tractor legally from the farm in town, like a big fucking, and I'd steal my boss's tractor. My buddies would all get it was a corn checker combine.
This is
so you light them
footloose.
up, and it's legal. You drive on the shoulder all the way to the bar in town. I mean, you aren't supposed to be drunk.
Yeah,
but it was a little bit different. But I got fighting the police. You could look it up. But our police were not regular police. People talk about inner city violence, small farm community violence. It's a big deal because a sheriff is elected by the people. It's usually some big redneck that has a bunch of, and then he hires all of his giant buddies to be the deputies with no training except they know how to fight.
Yeah,
like that's big.
How big is this community?
It's I think there's 22,000 now.
That's decent size.
Yeah.
But when you were a kid, it was smaller.
It might have been a little bit bigger, but
is everyone just drinking and drugs and
And it is the
Drunk
biggest
driving and
town in the
tractors.
area, so it was kind of the big city.
And everybody worked at the meatpacking?
Meatpacking or John Deere were the 2 best jobs. And when my meatpacking plant, Hormel, we went on strike because there was a strike in Austin, Minnesota at the head Hormel plant.
Yeah.
And we went on strike to support our brothers. There's a documentary about it called American Dream that won the Oscar in like 1990. Barbara Koppel directed it. Harvey Weinstein produced it. Called me up. You're the only meatpacker I know in Hollywood. Will you support this movie? And I said, yeah. But we're in it. Us dumb union guys. And our union guys like, fuck these guys, because Hormel said we were partners.
Yeah.
And, they would pay us 38 hours a week, no matter what. And then at the end of the year, our overtime, they would pay it for us, But what they do is 38 hours a week, and they go, you're not working the next month or whatever. You never got overtime. Anyway, we went on strike to support them. They ended up getting their jobs back, and they fired all of us in a trouble. Fired us and changed the name on the outside of the building to XL instead of Hormel, and made the same products, curating what hams, everything, for half. They bust people in from Mexico. They took over there. They're happy to work for half.
Right.
Yeah. And so that was the lesson. When that happened, when that closed down and some other stuff, that's when my sister stepped in and go, I got the solution, meth. And it really blew up.
Did you know she was selling meth at the time? Yeah.
I knew she was a drug dealer, obviously. The only person that did know was my dad, who was shocked. When she had
Just at home watching Bob Hope.
Yeah.
Unaware.
They had a bus, and the DEA guy in the documentary is pretty funny. They couldn't tell the local police they were coming in because they worked for my sister. My 7th stepdad was the chief of police. They all worked on my sister's farm guarding it.
Yeah.
And my sister. So they had to come in hard with helicopters and fucking battery rams. And it was big news. It was national news. And my dad's like, Tommy, did you know Lori was a drug dealer? And I'm like, everybody knows she's a drug like literally everybody. He goes, I didn't,
And she's back working at the meatpacking in the documentary, the meatpacking plant, right?
Yeah.
Did she not save money? I don't get, if I was doing this.
When it's money like that, you don't think, you're like, I know this is going to end. I know, but that's a good thing. The drug dealers that don't do drugs, that do strictly business, they're the ones that do the best. I couldn't be a drug dealer because I had to do all the drugs I had before I went to sleep, always. I couldn't say, I'm going to save this for...
But when you're that messed up, and you were messed up like in Hollywood too, right? Like, how are you working? How do you get up the next day and work?
You just have to. People, at the meatpacking plant, people were very hardcore alcoholics who got up, drank. We'd go from work to first of all, here's the thing. Somebody gets in a fight. They bring a guy over from Hambone, and the old timers say, Arnold, he called you a fag. That's what they say. I go, what the? I'm 18. I'm like, where is he? We're fighting behind the Union Hall tonight because we had knives that were so sharp, you cannot fight it because you kill, And it'd be we get out of our cars and we, fight a little bit. I always did pretty well, and then we make us shake hands, and then all 14 of us would go to the bar. Everybody has to buy a shot, so we drink 14 shots. This is like an everyday thing. Then they come into work the next day. They throw up in the morning, come into work their 12 hours, and then do it again.
But I get that because you're working in a meatpacking plant.
Yeah.
Like, you can be hungover all day, but like in Hollywood,
it's hard. I'm gonna say with that much death around you, the smells, being hungover is
covered
not.
in blood every day.
And abscesses.
And I imagine you guys like all walk out of the factory, like out of the mine, filthy
with
just
blood
despondent.
and the smell on you.
No wonder you want to fight and stab each other.
Well, we were happy to walk out.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's that morning coming in, but guys made it work for them. And my grandpa had worked there 50 years. He got a pension. He moved up to foreman. Like, that was it. So that's what they were thinking was going to happen. And then they shut him down.
They shut him down.
Our partners, the Hormel family, shut us down.
Yeah.
And they were just smarter than us. They just lured us out. That's what they did. They knew they were going to win. It's like when we go on strike as actors and writers. They know it's going to happen. They prepare. They get a bunch of materials so it doesn't. Then they come on TV like, boy, this is the worst time you could have picked to strike. A lot of people, these are billionaires, right? Yeah. It looks very bad. But that's what they did. And then they, and so nobody had jobs. And people started going, middle-class people lost everything. So they're like, what? Okay, what do I need to fill this void? Okay, I'll get this thing called crystal meth. Seems pretty popular. And it just blew up and in her business because we were close to Interstate 80 and all those bikers could come out here or go to the East Coast. But my sister, I always thought of my brother-in-law, the brains of this drug thing, because he was the captain of the Grim Reaper motorcycle gang. But it was my sister. And I know because I went over there one time and he's packing up this huge bag of money, $200,000. And I go, what's going on, Floyd? What are you doing? He goes, well, your sister's making me go out to Vegas to give this to a judge because they arrested some of our guys. And he was like sad cloudy. This dude was huge. And I'm like, oh, she's the boss. And she's making him go to fucking Vegas on a motorcycle to do this shit.
Did you ever work for her?
No, I never worked for her. I borrowed money from her husband once to move to Hollywood, $10,000.
Yeah.
And
how big was she?
How big was her business?
Yeah.
She was the biggest drug dealer with the widest thing in America.
So you did the documentary. Why not make a film?
We started, you know what? I started working with the great writer, Evan White, who was who would embed with the troops in Iraq, and he wrote Generation Kill, the book, and did all this stuff. And we pitched it was, and we needed to fix the pitch, and he killed himself.
The writer did?
He did. I talked to him that day. Things are good, and he was sober. And he said, I'm having a little trouble with this blood pressure medicine, it's making me feel a little funky. I'm going to go to the cardiologist, get something different. And he goes, I go, I don't want to pressure you to turn in the pages, whatever. And then he went that night. He's got a wife and 4 kids. Oh. And she said he came running out of his office where he did his stuff and ran to the bedroom, shut the door, and she heard a bang, and he killed himself that. Like, it's crazy. And so you think back, what was going on? He also covered the porn world, like, deep there. So you're deeply covering war. He wrote a lot for Rolling Stone and this stuff. But, you always try to think, what was he? Something was off with his hard drive. That's all there is to it. He did, he loved his wife. He loved his kids. Did it in the house, which is,
right.
It's the
worst. It brings down the value.
Yeah. But your hard drive, you can't explain it. But it was terribly sad. Everybody's like, what could I have done? I don't know. I think he planned it for a long time.
Really?
The happiest people are people who know they're going to kill themselves.
Yeah, because the end is there.
Yeah, they
always say when you're most depressed, people don't kill themselves when they don't have the energy.
Yeah.
But it's when they're coming out of it and there's some euphoria. Yeah. But why lie to you about the rough draft? I
think he was just feeling pressure and to get stuff. His process was putting so much stuff, interviewing so many people, talking about this, talking about that, putting all this shit together. and then trying to disseminate it in an appropriate way. And that was his, because I did a pitch with him where he was struggling to be linear, which is something I struggle with, obviously. And so I'm like, well, let's rack this in a little bit. And but I don't think that was the reason. But having those things, that doesn't help.
Don't you think if he got through that day, he'd still be here? I always thought that was
Yeah,
Robin
and if
Williams.
he'd called me, I'd been right there.
Yeah.
And the nice thing was his wife's in the program. So I called right away. There's 10 women there with her.
Yeah.
Because that's it. That's what we do.
What's the story you tell on stage about going down to the pier?
Oh, okay.
It's a sobriety story, right? It's hilarious.
Yeah.
What is this story?
Before I do that, I have to talk about suicide real quick. My nephew is in the Army, and he gets kicked out of the Army for being suicidal. And I tell my brother,
shouldn't they be there for him at that point?
Well, I think they did as well as they could, but he had like 30 guns. So I tell my brother, his dad, you got to take his guns away from him, and he's like, I'm not doing it. And I go, okay, I'm coming in and doing it. I'm flying in. I'm going to take his fucking guns. And he got into an argument with his girlfriend. He had 4 guns in the drawer of his nightstand, pulls one out, shoots himself in the head. That split second, because he'd have an argument with the girlfriend. And if you didn't have guns, he'd have to walk 2 miles to the bridge. We have a big viaduct. You'd really have time to think about this, but guns are just so fucking quick.
Were you in town?
I was on my way.
You were on your way.
I was on my way. He's 25, beautiful kid.
Oh, man, I'm sorry.
And so the way people look at suicide where I'm from, there's a lot of Christians and like Pentecostals that think you go to hell if you kill yourself. So people don't talk about it, right? My sister-in-law, married to another brother, she had a little bit of physical stuff, like she had a kind of a cave, but she was dealing with it. And her family was super religious. They were the knock on doors people, And I'm sure it got old making my brother his big hungry man dinners, but so she's like, I can't use a gun because that's been done to the family. So my brother bought a 45-foot Winnebago, beautiful. And she went in there, first day he got it, laid down in the bed and poured septic tank cleaner into her mouth, her face, melted her face off.
What?
That's how she died. Yeah. And she knew my brother would find her. It's not like, we say, the wife of my friend, that's awful. But she's like, yeah, he's going to find me. And I'm going to be here. And so the happy ending, it was hard for him. But he had one of his detailers, because he has 9 car washes, the best detailer, come out and really get the brains of his ex-wife out of the fabric of the thing. It was a 19-year-old bisexual. And he and her ended up being together for the next 3 years. Turns out she wasn't bisexual. She was gay. But he got it he's like 50 and she's 18. They travel the world. He got a big fucking turtle
Wait a minute. His wife commits suicide in the RV.
Yes.
He hires somebody.
One of his detailers from his car wash.
Who's 18.
The best one, yeah.
Bisexual.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, they're usually
Tom Iowa.
They're the best detailers.
They are,
18-year-old bisexuals.
Yeah.
She cleans up the
literally the brains. The tissue.
They end up going on a road trip for how many years in the vehicle?
2 years. They also went to Hawaii. They traveled.
But they couldn't reupholster. They couldn't trade it in.
No.
This is very morbid.
But it's sort of weird, too, that this woman who erased this terrible, traumatic thing that he just witnessed took it out piece by piece, cell by cell. So he's
the wife did this. You said she wanted him to find him to sort of be vindictive, and then
sort of
it ended up getting him laid.
Yeah. But then
so bizarre.
As I knew what happened, me and my other brother's like, this is gonna go sideways, man. He's but let him do it, man. This is how. And then the shit hit the fan, and now he's got a giant turtle tattoo that he got with her, and then he kind of came back to earth.
But wait a minute, how many people in your life have committed suicide?
Well, those 2 were pretty rapid succession. I don't know that anybody, people in my family that commit suicide do it by drugs and booze. Yeah. That kind of
the slow,
suicide. Yeah. Or end up in prison. They take their own life in different ways.
What is it with you? I mean, I read that you were supposed to be out to dinner with Hugh Grant the night that he was arrested for a male prostitute.
But I wasn't with him when he was prostitute. But let me tell you a story. First rehab I went to, 1989. Big story to Hollywood. Oh, I'm cocaine, booze, got into fistfights.
Yeah.
I got fired for the Roseanne show. Roseanne ended our engagement. And I said,
Wait a minute, you were married to Roseanne.
no, it was right before we got married. 89, December.
Wait, how many times were you engaged, broke off the engagement?
No, I mean, we
I
were.
feel like you'd be that couple.
We were, once we decided to be a couple, it was pretty much, and because I moved out here with a fiance, really nice woman, Denise from Minnesota, youngest of 17 kids, very supportive of my career. And it became clear that this wasn't going to work for Denise and I. And then the second year, I was, I'm writing the show, 89, second year, Roseanne.
So you're a writer for the Roseanne show.
Yeah,
Roseanne
that's
Barr.
what I did. Yeah.
Okay.
Writer, producer.
How do you get that? That's a big job.
Well, because I had written for her stand-up. I met her when I was 23 in the Midwest. The guy that ran the club said I saw a great comedian in Denver. She wasn't famous yet. She's coming in. You guys going to hit it off, do the weekend together. And we really did.
That's a good club owner.
Yeah, really did.
Guy in Cleveland tried to set me up with somebody once.
Yeah.
Nick, the owner of Hilarities.
Oh, yes.
But that's it. 30 plus years.
Yeah.
Only one person
Yep.
in this business has ever tried to set me up.
Scott Hansen was the guy. He weighed 700 pounds for real. And we had a pool when he was going to die. Mm-hmm. And I had August of 1986, and he just died. So many people died before him. Him and Louis, who's a big comedian from Minnesota.
Wait a minute, you predicted August of 1986?
Yeah, because he's 700 pounds.
And he made it till 2025?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm surprised I made it. But he did. He was the catalyst. Said we would tour together. They said, hey, would you, my act, would you start writing? And I did. And then I watched Johnny Carson, and she'd be out there doing a joke or two that I'd written. I'm like, that is satisfying. It's like, I want you to come out, be my husband on the show. I played her husband on her HBO special right before that. And I'm like, be your husband. I have limited acting experience. And said, how about if I just write the show? Because John Good was so great. But she really wanted me to be, she was going to take me, she took me into it and said, this guy's going to be my husband on the show. And I was like, it's fine if I don't do that. But the second year of the show, she came up office and said, nobody likes either one of us. We should get married. And I'm like, that's a great idea.
She said that.
Yeah. We were friends, very good friends. And I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. So I got engaged. I was still doing drugs. When I came out in 88, right away, she came by my office and said, do you do this every day? Drugs, alcohol? Oh, yeah. She goes, that's bad. I go, is it? She goes, I thought you only did it every 3 months when we toured together. That we both did that.
Yeah.
I go, no, it's a kind of an everyday thing and so much cheaper out here. And she goes, no, you can't. And so from that point on, I didn't think of quitting, but I hid it from everybody. I never drank in front of anybody or did drugs. It became a very solitary thing. But the next year it became, shit happened. I got in trouble with all this stuff and very public.
You got fired from the show. You had a fist fight with who?
Guys in the bar. That's something I carried over from Iowa, where there's.
Who'd you get into a fist fight with?
Two guys at a bar down here, Carlos and Charlie's, down here on Sunset.
And you were famous at the time?
Well known, very well. Wow. Yeah, there's a lot of famous people in Carlos.
You've lived such a different life than me. Like, did I miss anything? Not doing drugs and alcohol, I'll drink.
No, you didn't miss anything. You look at you; they wouldn't work in your life. You got a crystal clean life, man. You're meticulous. Do you have a girlfriend? Do you have no relationship? It's
no
easier for you, man.
Right now.
Well, I see you living by yourself.
I hope
you got
not.
a good life here. Why?
Well,
they fuck up your shit, man. You got stuff all perfect in this house.
I was in a relationship the last year. We got out of it in November.
Yeah.
And
Where's she?
She's out here.
Yeah.
And
she's out here.
She's
alive, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah. It has, at this point in my life, it's got to be right.
Of course.
I've got too much to lose.
That's it. Have you ever thought about having children?
With the right person, I would.
Yeah. But it's if you do want to do that, you can. And you always think, what would it be like if I raised it by myself? Of course, you're going to marry someone you think would be a good mother, loves you, you love her. But you always have to think, what if something goes sideways and I have to raise it by myself? That's what happened with me. And I assume with my dad. I'm going to tell a story you asked for because it's funny. And then.
Well, also, I wanted to ask you, when's the last time you spoke to Roseanne?
At her roast. I've only spoke to her once in 31 years.
Are you sick of hearing her name?
Well, first it was bugged. But, my last stand-up special came out in, I forget what day in 2018. And I set up all these interviews to promote it. It was the day Roseanne got fired from the Roseanne show. That's all they wanted to talk about. But I knew she was going to get fired. And it was ABC's fault because I was aware of her social media crazy stuff from her daughter was sharing with me. Like, what am I going to do? She's calling the Boston bombing a false flag day. She wrote every member of Congress that said John McCain was a traitor. Like she's hanging with guys that call themselves Nazis because they're her fan base. And I said, well, give me some information. I was able to kind of engage with those guys, the Nazi guys. And then I had a hacker, because I was doing a Vice show, who could turn the lights off in their house, could turn the power off from this thing. Like, I wondered how far to take this. And I come out there and stay the fuck away from my ex-wife, man. And it was stupid. But I knew she was going to get fired. And I said, what's the deal with her boyfriend? Now, if I had $1 billion on the line, and she's like, I want a tweet. I go, okay, but you can have her tweet go to a different server before it goes up there. Or you take her phone. I said to her daughter, I'd take her phone and throw it in the fucking river.
Right.
She would not have that phone because she is going to regret when this goes away. She wanted to quit every day on the first version of the show.
Right.
And I was like, I can't let you quit because it will devastate you. And so it became hard. She thought, how much do I push her? And one day she's like, I quit. Nobody respects me. We went up to the main office with Tom Warner, who is a big, who owns a lot of
Carsey Warner.
Yeah. And she's like, I'm quitting. And she goes, give me one reason to keep working on this show. And he goes, I'll give you 100 million. And she was like, oh yeah, that is.
So that was the original Roseanne show.
Yeah.
Because you're going back and forth. You're talking about the reboot.
Yes.
Which you got fired for because of all those tweets and posts and stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, were you raised conservative in Iowa?
People are more conservative.
What was your family?
But not crazy. My dad was a Republican.
Was a Republican.
Yeah,
but
my grandpa on his side, very Republican.
Did you always lean left?
Yes.
You did?
Yeah.
And you told me privately Roseanne did too, right?
Yeah, oh, she was very left. My county, Wapello County, Iowa, was the most Democratic county in America. We didn't vote for Abraham Lincoln. She was more liberal than me when I met her because I'd come from a meatpacking plant. Like I was sort of this guy. She liked that. She liked, oh, he'll protect me. He'll fight this dude right here. Yeah, and she needed that in her life. Somebody's like, no matter what, I'm gonna. And I kind of was like that on the show. That people would say, well, we don't. I go, it's her show. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
And I'd say, first of all, I didn't know how to finesse things. I'd say, oh, all right, I'm gonna throw you out that fucking window.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll be able to finesse this better, but I have to say this again. It's her show, and she's always right. If you look at things like that, you quit fucking with her, and she's already right. Then we can figure stuff out to help her. But it's her show. Who the fuck are you guys? So, that's why I hired most of my friends to write the show. They did great. It really was her vision. Everything was her.
Oh, I remember when she went on the Tonight Show.
Yeah.
It was
she did not get creative credit on the Roseanne show. A writer did.
Oh, wow.
They screwed her over, and from that moment that happened, that changed her. She's like, "Fuck everybody. I'm gonna, get even with everybody. I'm gonna do this stuff." So,
I mean, her first appearance on the Tonight Show was
killer.
It was amazing. Really, if you're a comic, you should watch
amazing.
that. It was like so original. I'm just talking to the audience, saying like, this is something. It was something special. It was a turning point. She was like, she was married at the time, right?
Yeah, that's one thing I love about her. She was older than me. I was 23. She was 30. She had kids, 3 kids.
What did you like about that?
I loved it because I'm thinking about good mothers.
Yeah.
I'm like, I like that.
Oh, I see.
And she liked me because I was like, and she knows the secret to men because we know we're good looking. But if you tell us we're funny.
By the way, go to New Mexico.
Yeah.
You'll be very good looking.
But, that was the thing. We both thought each other was funny as hell. And
That's
that
great.
really, through the marriage too, where she would trust me with the scripts. And it took a lot. And this and that. And so the show the first 6 years are the best 6 years. That's what I worked.
Yeah.
With almost every show. But the one thing I said I would not let her do was win the lottery. She was like, for a couple of years, like, we want to win the lottery. It'll be fun. Then we'll have all this money on the show. I go, no, this family does not win the lottery. Your next show, you can win the lottery. Okay. I think it would hurt the show. I think it would hurt the show. soon as I left, she's like, fuck it, fuck it, we're winning the lottery.
Right.
And it really did kind of hurt the show. But I was grateful I got to work out of that long.
Yeah, that's amazing. And then, like, I actually ran into her at
Yeah.
Adam Carolla's party.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah, it was interesting.
I was invited, I think, to that.
You probably
Adam
were.
Carolla is, he's very funny, but he's changed, because he's made a decision. I'm going to go just for this one side because that's who puts him on TV and stuff. And it's funny that him and Jimmy Kimmel are such good friends. They still are, because Jimmy's the other way. That's this way. And it makes it like it happens in life. But if some people who cannot make fun of Trump, that the comics, you lose it. If you can't make fun of Joe Biden, or you can't make fun of Trump because he got shot in the ear. Joe Biden died 5 years ago. You can't make fun of him. It's a weird thing for
I agree.
comics to be.
I agree.
And that's why I think with Trump, because Roseanne won't say, I mean, she hated him. He did a special on one of his casinos, and she freaking hated him because he represented, again, she was feminist. I heard words I'd never heard before about feminism and things, and that I liked her because she's so different than the Iowa women, and but she went completely the other way.
Yeah, I mean, it's strange. I used to do Corolla show all the time.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like, I don't like politics.
Yeah.
On either side. I just don't need to hear about it all the time. I don't need it to be your identity. It's okay to have a position, but it's also okay to sort of listen and say, okay, what are you thinking? What do you feel? Like the whole world has gone insane.
Right.
And I used to love going on Corolla and just riffing. Like,
absolutely.
One of the things I was like, I wrote down, like I took notes, is like, omelets, because I ate so many omelets in New Mexico. And the problem with the omelets all over the country now, I'm now confirmed it, is they put way too much toppings or fillings in there. They got to cut it out. It's got to have like 75% less feta and mushrooms and what broccoli. Like, it's just.
What about meat? I always like meat. But,
I'll put it all in. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But, I could riff on that in like the shitty diners with the shitty diner forks that have no curve to them. It's just flat and you can't get anything to stay on the fork. And I would go on Corolla with something like this and we would just riff and have so much fun.
Yeah.
And
it was like that. Remember Loveline, him and Dr.
Yes.
Drew? There is, every time I go on Corolla, they play this clip because it's pretty famous, where a woman calls in, I'm on there, and she says she's a sex worker and she does calls, texting calls. And the longer she keep a guy on the line, the more money she makes. She gets paid by the minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Adam kind of acts, he said, well, you got to do, I'm going to tell you how you do it. He started talking about, keeping them right where they're ready to, jerk, it's almost over, and then calming back down. So he gave an example, and he was just kind of joking, this, something great, and then something tragic like the Holocaust or something. He just threw it out there. And then he goes, okay, show me what you do. And she's like, I'm here, I'm naked, I'm just thinking about the Holocaust. The way she did. And they got kicked off the air in Canada because of that. But we laughed for 6 minutes because it was the funniest, it wasn't like he said, they make fun of the Holocaust. It was this sex worker thinking that she heard the information from him, taking it, and now was doing it, is one of the funniest moments. I enjoy both of those guys, Adam Carolla is very successful. And I think when we get older too, a lot of us get more conservative or something. But Trump is it's a weird deal. I've known him 40 years and I've made a choice not to, or to be honest, I've hung out with him, been to Playboy Mansion with him. One of my wives and his wife and us, we went to the Elton John pediatric AIDS party, Oscar party. Like, you could see the pictures.
Yeah. Do you hear from him? Like, when you go after him?
I've had him.
That series
I've got
on
things that he said about that. But
because you did the Trump tapes, right?
Yeah, the Vice show.
Yeah.
But I ended up getting to know everybody around him. I'm like, Michael Cohen. I have a lot of recordings of people. I was instrumental in Jerry Falwell Jr. losing his job at his own university.
That was a great documentary.
Yeah, that was fun.
But you're so outspoken. Do you ever fear for your safety?
No.
Really?
No. Because, something good happened, but so what? That's the deal. What I have found, it's not as bad as it was the first term when he was getting elected. Because I did show in Boston where there's a lot of people that are Trump supporters. Because the people that worked with me at the Meatpacking plant, people that are kind of have similar life as mine, became Trump supporters. and they are full on. So it was an issue, and I'm like, I don't want to tour for a while because I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna be able to figure it out.
But you're really opposed to him. You can't stand him.
Right. I think
this isn't
the
a
worst
gimmick.
person in the world.
Okay, this isn't a gimmick. This isn't. You're trying to
if you don't
publicity.
See what he's doing, it's not just the lying and the grifting. If you go back 20 years ago, there's a president that's selling Bibles, his own Bible, and watches and tennis shoes, and now he's in crypto. He's using the White House to do all this shit. He's not loyal to our friends anymore, giving up all our lives. Wants to hang just with dictators. You go, yeah, that's impossible. That'll never happen. But it has happened, and so you try to navigate through, do the best you can with, but it's not his fault. He's authentic. That's the guy he was when I met him 40 years ago. This guy that lies or whatever is looking out for himself. You get that. He's a business guy. It's the people around him that changed, who had ethics, who believed in America this way or that way, who are now suck-ups to him. And he lures them in, and he will destroy each one. Because from my experience, you have to suck up, but he has no respect for suck-ups.
Yeah. What did you think was on those Trump tapes?
Well, there were different things. Each week I'd go, there was this a tape in an elevator where him and Melania got into a fight, and he had a physical fight. And, elevator has the stuff here. But what I found, it was just fun. I ended up meeting a bunch of real journalists, Jane Mayer and these people. I sent a producer to Moscow to meet with, there's only one madam in Moscow, the city, high end.
That's your next documentary, the queen of prostitutes in Moscow.
But they're very honest. And that the thing is, in 2013, Trump had gone there for Miss Universe. And my buddy's his right-hand guy, he ran The Apprentice, he's his body man. And he came back and said, oh shit, you won't believe what happened to Trump. He went to run for president. He fucking was he did a call with Putin, and he put it on a laptop so everybody could hear it. Putin said he should be president. That got into his head. Putin sent some women up there. One of the women, because Trump found out it was Obama. Obama had slept on one of the beds of this giant suite. He said, piss on that. That's the piss story, where nobody pissed on Trump. And his excuse for that is he's a germaphobe. So, of course, but he did raw dog a porn star. So he's not really a germaphobe. But that's what happened. It was
but do you think this is real, the Moscow story?
Oh, yeah. No,
you do?
100%. Because that's his guys, like the people closest to him. But then when he started running for president, now it becomes something.
Yeah.
And, I'd lived over there in that hotel. There's Carlton in Moscow filming a movie for the whole summer of 2015. So I'm out over there hearing stories and stuff. But I sent a producer in, and she talked to this woman that is madam, in case you're ever over there. I
don't think I'll ever go in there.
And I said, we want to know how much of this involves peeing and businessmen and getting, so you can blackmail them. But 30%, we talked to a lot of the sex workers, 30% of their business involves urinating and filming and giving that to Trump.
Have there been studies? Is this just a Moscow thing, or do you think this is happening all over the world?
I think Moscow, I don't know who likes to pee on people. If we was in the shower, I'd pee on somebody,
Yeah.
But, and people can pee on me in the shower. I don't care. But
really?
It's a real thing. And I think people's sexual stuff, you don't understand it. R.B. Hammer, he was doing stuff. He's a buddy of mine with, where you tie people up and you're in on it, you got a safe word, whatever, and then you treat them like crap, your property, you say you want to eat them,
right?
Which then makes you look like a cannibal. But there's a whole segment of the population that
So you don't think he's guilty? You don't feel uncomfortable with Armie Hammer and that whole story?
Here's the deal. He has worked on himself so much the last 3 years.
Yeah, but prior to that,
I didn't know the details of. He's just a funny guy. He was good in a couple of movies. Got a funny guy, crazy family. But I really got to know him when he got his shit together, as he got sober, but also worked on himself and what he had done and became willing to
But
say,
are some people using getting sober as an excuse, like religion, to, hey, erase my past because I've seen God?
I'm sure, because give it another chance. In 89, when I went to rehab, when I lost my job, I got Roseanne. I said, I'm going to rehab. I'm taking myself to rehab. I announced it. because I'm going to get sober and be a great guy. I was there just to get people to say I was a good guy, get my job back, whatever, manipulate. On the 8th day I was there, my therapist said, have you ever thought about being sober for yourself? And I said, no. How would I do it? He goes, well, you got to love yourself. And I was like, that's impossible. But I got a picture of myself when I was 4. And if you see the documentary series about my sister and I, it was a rough time for that kid. And I kept that. And I was like, I love this kid, man. And it's me. It's me. He doesn't deserve to die in here. No adults were looking out for this kid. So that's what I'm going to do. So I really got it. And I stayed in there and I called Roseanne after a couple weeks. I said, I love you. I appreciate you. I didn't know why I'm not working on the show. I know why we're not getting married, but I'm going to stay here this time and do it for myself. And she was like, oh, we're getting married. And I remember my brain went, if I could have known I could manipulate her by just saying the words, I'm staying here for myself, whatever, I would have done it and not thought about it. And so that's the thing that's kept me alive,
Right.
And so I get out of rehab. You have to make a list of all the people you screwed over. I had a significant list. They're red check marks, they're called. Green check marks are the nice things you done. And I had a lot of red check marks. And I assume when you die, God totals them up. And red check marks, green, and it's either this or that. And I needed to get some big green check marks. So I get out. They tell me the best thing you can do is save another addict alcoholic's life. So I get out there like, I got to save somebody's life. And so I get home. Day one, open up the National Enquirer, which is very reputable magazine. On the front page, one of my childhood heroes, Peter Criss, the drummer for the band Kiss, the guy with the cat makeup on. He's a homeless alcoholic crackhead living under the Santa Monica Pier. And I'm like, fuck, I got 20 minutes. I'll go down and save Peter Criss' life. This is going to be, people will love me.
Yeah, you're getting the Enquirer.
So
this is the story you tell on stage.
Yeah.
It's amazing how you wove this back in.
Yeah. But
you're a genius. You're a genius.
I know we need to hear something
I
funny.
think he's getting into the story without me asking him to do it again.
But
what a pro.
So I had a Bentley back then and a mullet, which I have neither now. I park on Ocean, the area.
Yeah.
Get out of my car. So I walk up the beach towards the pier. I see some homeless guys. Hey, have you seen Peter Criss? They're like, you got $20? I go, yeah. Anyway, I do that a couple times. Get under the pier. The pier was not as glamorous as it is now. And they were doing construction underneath the pier. So it was all tarped off, and so it's like a giant crack tent, for real. So I open the back of it, that tarp. I see a guy way at the other end with a 55-gallon drum and a drumstick, like, boy, and he's still got fans. The crackheads are huge fans. So I go up to the guy, I go, are you Peter Criss? He's like, you got $20? I go, yeah, here. He goes, yes, I am. I go, well, today's your lucky day. I'm Tom Arnold. I'm a great guy. I'm here to save your freaking life. Now, I'm on a time crunch, so I don't have time to save all these guys' lives, but let's roll. I pick him up, throw him on my shoulder. We start to get out of the crack tent, and he is their meal ticket. So they don't want me to take him out. So, again, fist fighting homeless people. There's no good
Are you really?
way. Oh, yeah. Well,
how was he the meal ticket?
Because he got, people gave him money because it was Peter Criss.
Yeah.
And then he could buy crack and they could smoke it.
Okay.
Yeah. And they also loved him because he's the most famous homeless person down there. So I get him out, get in my car, call New Beginnings, the place I checked out from in Century City. It's not there anymore, but I say, hey, it's me, Tom Arnold, great guy now. I bring in a new client and he's VIP. See you soon. And they go, no, we're not going to have a bed available here for 72 hours. I'm like, holy shit, what do I got to keep this guy alive for 72 hours to get credit for saving his life. So I'm like, plan B. I go across the street. That there's a couple nice motels on Ocean there.
Sure.
And I check him in. I give him beer and food because I'm not a monster. But I tell him, no crack. There's no smoking whatsoever here, buddy. No, I have a damage deposit. No crack. So I leave. A couple hours later, the manager calls and says, his buddies come across the street and they're smoking crack. I'm like, God damn it. So I get my if you're ever going to fight with a baseball bat, you don't want the big one. You have something you got to work with.
The billy club.
And I didn't really want to fight them, but I wanted them to leave. So I clear them out. That happens a couple times. Day 2 of this, I get a call from a woman in Boston.
Why not stay with him or get a sober companion?
Well, I was working. I wasn't as knowledgeable as I am now. I also want to get credit no matter what.
Yeah.
So day 2, a woman in Boston calls me. She's like, I'm Peter Criss's ex-girlfriend. I want to fly him to Boston and saved his life. I go, so no. Tomorrow when I get him in rehab and get credit for saving his life, he's all yours because I thought nothing beyond that. And how did a woman in Boston know that I was saving Peter Criss's life? Because I did an interview with Entertainment Tonight right away. You know, the anonymity part of the program had not stuck. And I'm like, it's me, Tom Arnold, all good now. I'm saving my hero's life. He's a crackhead, homeless, alcoholic, Peter Criss. And she saw that. So the next day I went to pick him up, and the hotel manager meets outside and says, bad news, Mr. Arnold. A limousine came and took Mr. Criss to the airport a few hours ago.
Gee, yeah. You got scooped.
Yeah, I'm like, that bitch,
Got
man.
poached.
She went back. And how's God? Well, God gave me half a credit for trying to save his life. But here's how God works, for real. 6 hours later, I get a call from the woman in Boston, and she is hysterical. She's like, he's here. He's throwing up all over the place, and he is not Peter Criss. Google it. It's bad. So that guy, random guy that I kidnapped, according to the police, he's out. He's screwed. In Boston, he's nobody's going to help him. He's kicked out.
Yeah.
So I scramble. I go, who's sober in Boston? I'd read in Rolling Stone that Aerosmith was sober in Boston. So I called Steve Tyler and Joe Perry. Go, I got a situation out there with they went over and picked up that guy, a random guy, took him to rehab, saved his life. That's really how you're supposed to do it. Then when I was taking fake Peter Criss across the street, he was so screwed up.
Did the homeless people know he was fake Peter Criss?
No.
Oh, so
No.
he conned all of them.
Everybody knew. Yeah. Everybody thought he was the real.
Where is the real Peter Criss at this time?
Well, that's the thing. He was home with his family, his mother, his children, watching Entertainment Tonight. And I said, Peter Criss, a crackhead. He sued me for $50 million. Look it up. Because he's like sober. And so.
Wait, how much did he sue you for?
50.
50.
Yeah.
And can you disclose?
Well, fortunately, real Peter Criss and I became friends.
Yeah. Oh,
he ended up just suing the Inquirer. He got a lot of money. He settled for a lot.
Have you thought about maybe going out there and saying something about me that I could sue you for?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
I will. But
I was going to talk to you about that. Go ahead. Finish your story. Your story's
so the
so much better
cops,
than
when I was taking fake Peter Criss across the ocean, a squad car pulled up and they get out. They start getting out because he said, I go, no, buddy. I got this. It's my friend. It's his bachelor party. Don't worry. And then when those two cops heard the real story, they could not get to my house fast enough and arrest me for kidnapping. This whole story is Googleable. Assaulting homeless people like the worst. They take me down to Santa Monica Police Department. They're fucking screaming at me, which they should. I lied straight up to them. And all of a sudden, the detective comes in. I'm waiting on my lawyer, the great Marty Singer. And detective comes in and goes, let me talk to Mr. Arnold for a second by myself here. He goes, so you went down to the Santa Monica Pier by yourself to save a man's life. I mean, you fucked it all up, but that was your intention? I go, yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah.
He goes, I'll tell you what, you do that one more time and we'll see about dropping some of these charges. I go, I'll do it. He goes, well, there's a cop we work with here. He lives in La Habra. He's going to be dead by the weekend, and we legally can't go into his house. I go, I'll go into his freaking house. Are you kidding? He goes, well, he's got a lot of guns. I go, I don't care about guns. Does he have a dog? Because they're the wild cards. They say no dog. 2 original cops drive me out there, park a block away. When I get out of the squad car, and I said, we're doing it at 8 a.m. because I know I'm an addict. I know 8 a.m. you're rebooting. Yeah. You're not 100%. You know, I had him draw up what his house looked like. There's a long hall in the living room. I knew he'd be there.
Yeah, this is a serious operation.
Yeah. Well, you got to know this stuff. So
you take this
seriously. I get out of the car, and one cop says to the other one, okay, when he kills Arnold, we're going to say it was a home invasion, right? Right. For real. They give me this thing to bust open the front door. Pop it open. I pop open the front door, and running straight at me is a pit bull. Like,
boy.
Shoo, down all night. God damn it, it's not supposed to be dogs here. Anyway, I turn aside, that dog keeps running because dogs know shit's going down. The dog wanted out of there.
Yeah.
So I walk down the hall, take a left. There's a glass table with booze, drugs, a gun, phone, and the cop. He's hunched over it, fucked up. And I go, buddy, it's your lucky day. I'm taking you to rehab or whatever. And I
saved Peter Criss.
Yeah. Well, he's like, what the fuck is Tom Arnold doing to my house? I go, saving your life, literal. He goes, no. Gets up, takes a swing, but it's no good. I drag him out of there. Those cops put him in the squad car, took him to the hospital. That guy is still sober.
Oh, good.
Cop, so that's a good miracle. Another miracle number 2.
Peter Criss saved that guy too.
Yes. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Did
technically.
fake Peter Criss look like real Peter Criss?
Well, again, he didn't have cat makeup on. I think a lot of
no. Did?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. The fake Peter Criss
did not
had the Kiss makeup on.
No,
when you
but
that would be genius.
But that was made it like, what would he look like, Peter Criss, now after smoking a bunch of crack? This could be him.
Yeah,
like so
and
like
this
a lot
is
of
before
crackers
the internet,
like,
right? So there aren't like a lot of pictures of real Peter Criss without the makeup.
Yeah. So it was believable. Plus, he had a hippie, like a rock guy haircut, and so Gene Simmons was my next door neighbor. He played bass for Kiss. When his first went down, I called him, Gene, did you know Peter Criss, a homeless alcoholic crackhead? He's like, no, I didn't. Oh, my God, that's so sad. We haven't toured together in a long time. Then I got to call him back. Gene, Peter Criss is not a homeless alcoholic crackhead. And Kiss toured together for the first time in 10 years. After that.
So you
put my favorite band from my youth back together. That's a fact. And there's an episode of Donnie, Google it, where all fake Peter Criss, real Peter Criss, my big fat humiliated face, fake girlfriend, all this stuff. The whole thing comes out. It's
they should let fake Peter Criss sit in and play a couple of songs.
Right.
Just for the
that would be funny.
Full completion.
Yeah. I'm sure he's dead though. Just because it's been so long.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But you said he sobered up and everything.
Yeah, but
this is what when you go see a Tom Arnold show, these are the stories and anecdotes, and you have so many.
Yeah.
Where are you going next? Where's your next?
Oh, I'm going to Springfield, Missouri this weekend, and then I have.
Do you get anxious about your shows?
I get like a little bit like if you're too cocky, like I got this, but I take a moment to think, what am I going to do? Especially the way I do the show. What am I going to start with, and what do I want to finish with? Because you never know; these stories may change in the middle, or
Yeah, I bet each one of your shows is different.
It is a little different.
I love when I'm doing shows here in town and I see that you're on it. And,
thank you.
And I see you all the time. And I said, I got to get this guy on my podcast.
Yeah.
And at one point we exchanged numbers.
Yeah, and I wrote you back. I was like,
this is so bizarre.
Yeah.
This is why I think the government has tapped your phone. And I'm a little worried. Like I thought, okay, I'm going to have Tom on my podcast, but I'm going to end up on a list.
Probably.
I'm on a list now.
Probably, yeah.
Yep. I'm going to be investigated.
Who was the guy that was a go-between with us before? One of those guys who books a couple nights of comedy.
I don't know, but somehow I got your number.
Yeah.
No. I think we were working at this club in Hollywood that bar that sort of with bands. It's out of business now.
The Comedy Chateau?
No, it was. I can't remember, but I texted you. I mean, I can show you how many times I texted you.
And I wrote you always back.
Never got a response.
But here's the other thing. Can you do my show tomorrow? And I'd write back, I can't tomorrow, but let's book. We have any time. And you never wrote me back. And then the guy brought up again.
Yeah.
And then I wrote you again.
Find it. Yeah.
And I'm like, well, fuck it. Maybe he's a weirdo.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's like, I demand you come down here right now. And so when Max Micel, who opens for me and booked my whole tour, said, Orny is right podcast. You got to.
I mean, look at this.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom, it's Orny Adams.
Yeah.
August 9th.
Yeah.
Nothing. August 11th. Great seeing you the other night. Funny. Any chance you're available to do my podcast Monday, 11 a.m. Look, you can see all this, right?
But
September 11th. Exactly a month later. Hey, Tom, not sure if you'll see this or respond.
But isn't it great that I was mysterious. Responding? And I was thinking, what a fucking weirdo. I wanted to do it. I said I wanted to do it like 5 times. He doesn't. Respond to me.
I worry the aliens have hacked us.
Yeah.
Would you want to come up tomorrow and do the podcast? If you answer me and I don't respond,
Tom,
feel
it's
free.
Orny Adams from August 9th of 2023. And I'm like, thumb up. And then
look at this.
Great scene. Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Hey, March 3rd.
You didn't get it. I can't do it Monday 11th. First day of school. Let's figure something else out.
No, show me. Put in the screen. Show the screen.
And you can see
I got. Hey, Tom, it's Orny. I enjoyed talking with you last night. Are you available to do my podcast tomorrow? If not, do you have any days that open next week? I live close to blah 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 blah. I mean, giving everything. Look at this. I put
show this?
Yeah, put it. I put a clip of me and Pete Holmes to sell it to you. What happens is I'll see Monday, May 26th.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom, it's Orny again. Let's do June 3rd, 10th.
Yeah.
I still don't hear from you. I have not a single response from you. And then I'll see you out at the clubs and I'll say, Tom, you want to do that? You're like, I want to do your podcast.
I told you that like 6 times.
Yeah.
I think you're weird. You think I'm not, I'm weird. But you see, August 11th, you have a great scene. You want to do, okay, I can't do it Monday, August 11th. First day of school. Let's figure out something else.
Let me see this.
And then I hear from you September 11th, a month later.
Why am I not getting, text me right now. Text me right now. Let me see if I
you
got
got the screen grabs, right, of these texts when we...
No. This
okay.
is your next documentary, is how we're not getting each other's texts.
But I've never had this with anybody.
Here's Tom. Text me right now. Let's see if it goes through.
Okay.
She text me?
Mm-hmm.
Now I'll text...
You have me fucking blocked. That's what it is.
No.
It's like a seer block, like you do... you maybe blocked me at one time.
I just texted you. Did you get it?
Okay. I think I do get yours. Hey, Thomas Orny.
Well, wait a minute. So how is this possible?
I don't know. Would one of your fans tell us how to fix this?
Yeah, because somebody...
Because it's bad. It's bad.
Wait, if I go to info, it would say you're blocked. It doesn't. That's so strange.
Somebody knows how to fix this.
Okay.
But so for 2 years, I said, yeah, I'll do your show. Then I don't hear from you. Okay. Yeah, this time, I told you
I'm going to block you and unblock you and see if that makes a difference.
That's a great idea.
Mm-hmm. All right. Hi. I'm texting you now. Hi. Now you text me back. Let's see if I blocked you. Now I unblocked you.
Okay, buddy. That's interesting. Hi. Why
would I block you?
I
got it.
Oh, you had to block me and unblock.
I'll block you, yeah.
I'll remember that in the future in case this happens.
But what if this is happening to me and women?
Yeah. They think it's good for you because they think you're playing hard to get. God. Instead of all the text you've been sending them, please come over and look at my trailer. My house is meticulous.
This is an unbelievable podcast. I want to hear, before we end, can you quickly tell the Hugh Grant story?
Yes.
Do you have the energy?
Yes. Oh, good.
Do you have to go?
Okay, one.
Because we can do this again.
It goes out at 1:50. No, I'm here.
Okay, this is it. The final story.
Very good. We're very good.
I just have to say this. You're an amazing guest.
Oh, thank you. You're an amazing host.
Really?
Yeah. You get some stuff going and make me think about stuff. And you're also cool with talking about one thing and then us talking about 10 things and then coming back, allowing me to come back.
I'd have you on over and over again.
Here's the story.
Yeah.
I say to people, I've been in 150 movies, 4 good ones. And this is one of the good ones, 9 months. Now, when you work at the kill floor of a meatpacking plant, you got to make your own fun. And I was chiseling heads. You probably know that job. 8-man crew. The heads of the hogs come by at a steak. I cut this meat out. This is good meat. And Working Wendy was on. So I'm daydreaming. I'm best friends with Robin Williams. I get home that night and look at the mirror like, you got to quit having that daydream because that is so disappointing. You will never meet Rob Williams. You live in Atomo, Iowa. Daydream's something else.
Yeah.
10 years later, I'm in Rob Williams' house up in San Francisco, and we're getting ready to start this movie, 9 months. And by the way, everything good you've ever heard about Rob Williams is true and more. And if I called him at 4 a.m. and said, so-and-so's in trouble, whether he knew him or not, he'd be like, let's go get him. Like, he was that guy.
I've got a Robin story,
Yeah,
but I'll tell it to you privately. Yeah.
I love talking about it. But we're starting the movie, and all the actors there, Robin's hosting our buddy, Hugh Grant, Julianne Moore, Jodie Cusack, and Jeff Goldblum.
What a cast.
I know, it was very fun.
Wow.
And at the end of the dinner, it's just Robin and I sitting there. And I said, buddy, I have been here before. And he's like, in my house? I go, no, me, you, best friends. He's like, we're not best friends. I go, I know, but it's kind of close to my thing. But Hugh Grant and I were best friends. It's a fact.
Wait a minute. So Robin said that you were best friends.
No, Robin. Well, I told Robin, me and you, best friends, just like and he's like, we're not best friends. I know, but close enough for the fantasy I had at the meatpacking plant. I'm sitting here with him. And it was funny. He's very funny. But Hugh Grant and I were best friends. So he just had 4 weddings and a funeral. And I done True Lies. So we had something going, Went out every night, 5 months, San Francisco, went out high-fiving. I love you, man. Like that kind of man, best friends. Madonna came to town halfway through the movie and put on a private concert in a place that maybe sat 75 people. Invited us to be her special guests. She invited Hugh Grant and I drove. It doesn't matter. We went there. We're like, we're going to see Madonna. Shit. Can you freaking believe it? We get in there. We watch a concert. And then afterwards she said, would you gentlemen like to come backstage and hang out? We're like, hell yes, we'd like to come back. Oh, fuck, we're going to hang with Madonna, dude. Shit, this is awesome. So we go back there. And almost immediately, Madonna and Hugh Grant have chemistry and are all over each other. Of
course.
All over each other.
How good looking is he in person?
He was better, as all of us were, better then. But he's charming. He's very charming.
Yeah, he does
British
it.
thing. Yeah.
Madonna, you're gonna play like a player.
Yeah. It's funny. Some, there are certain, Madonna like that. And then she said, "Would you gentlemen like to come up to my suite and hang out?"
Whoa.
And we're like, "You're damn right."
So what are you thinking? Little threesome?
Whatever. I'm thinking, no. I'm thinking like, this is wild. Let's see everything.
I'm from Mataba, Iowa.
Yeah. So
how did this happen?
We get in the elevator and I go, wait a minute, Hugh. I swear to God, my feelings will not be hurt if I get out of this elevator right now and go back to our hotel by myself.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Tom, do you not want to see me fuck Madonna?" I go, "Why? Of course I do. Of course I do." But we didn't want to be aware about it. He's like, "Stick around, mate. About 10 minutes, I'll be fucking Madonna." So we get up there, most beautiful suite we've ever seen. It's like the Taj Mahal. We're taking it in. And she's like, "Gentlemen, make yourselves in here. I'm going to go in that room and freshen up." So we're like making ourselves at home. And Hugh Grant grabs a bottle of $200 champagne and chugs it. And I see a giant white sheet cake there. So I cut the corner piece with the most frosting. And I mean, and we really are taking this in.
Yeah.
And I'm looking around. I'm like, "Hey, 3:00.
Is this a big deal for him?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, "Hey, 3:00. Do you see what I see?" He goes, "Yes, that's Madonna's Louis Vuitton luggage." I go, "Are you thinking what I'm thinking?" It's like, "Yes, let's steal some shit out of there." So we literally, she had all this like antique silverware, all this stuff. We are filling our pockets full. And behind us, I hear, "What are you assholes doing?" And I turn around and she's like, "That's my brother's birthday cake. We're going to surprise him with that tonight." I go, "Do not worry. I'm going to put this piece back. I know how to do it." She goes, "Get the fuck out of here. You guys are idiots." I go, "No, I'm an idiot. You can still have sex with Hugh Grant." She goes, "Get the fuck." She runs us to the hall, slams the door behind us. We're in the hall. I'm like, "God damn it, Hugh. I'm so sorry. Now you don't get to fuck Madonna." He's like, "Mate, everybody fucks Madonna. We got her goddamn spoons, buddy."
Did you really steal stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Do you still have it?
She knows this story. By the way, Madonna.
Has she ever told the story publicly?
I don't know, but it's
Where's her
it
stuff?
it's validated.
Where's her stuff? Do you still have it? The antiques?
I don't know if you kept it. I know at one time we had it,
but
I brought it home. We split it up, but it was like super antique. But there were pieces. We didn't have a full silver.
But this is like what you do in college. Yeah. You're like college kids.
Yeah, believe me. The rest of the movie, we took around and showed everybody. Tell everybody.
Was Hugh into women? Like he got caught with what?
He is. Well, let me finish this. The last day of a movie, you do something called a press junket. You know, Florida hotel. Every actor gets a room side by side. 100 entertainment type reporters come by, room to room, ask you the same questions over and over. It's not their fault. You want to promote your movie. Hugh Grant, very funny. I don't know if you know how funny he is. He walked into my room. I'm doing an interview with Entertainment Tonight. He walks right in front of the camera and says, "Hey, Tom, are you getting a hooker tonight?" I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking? I don't get hookers." I go, "I'm married, I think. You get hookers." "No, you do." No. The Entertainment Tonight producers like, "Relax, boys. We will never play that clip on Entertainment Tonight unless one of you gets arrested with a hooker tonight." And what are the odds of that happening? Well, pretty fucking good, it turned out. So at the end of the interviews, we have a going away dinner.
Yeah.
And all the actors there. And I say, "Hugh, I got to go to Toronto for 48 hours, but there's a Dodger game Tuesday. So let's hit it. Let's keep this thing going we got going." And he's like, "Our movie is over." I go, "I know movie's over, but you're staying on LA. And, well, we don't have to go to a game. We do something simple. Get a bite, get a drink, you know." And he's like, "I don't understand, Tom. Did you think we were friends?" He goes, "Don't be offended. You cannot be friends with everybody you do a movie with, Tom. We're vagabonds, buddy. We're show business friends. I'll see you in the ear and I'll give you a hug."
Devastating.
And it was devastating, but it's a rule of show business that I didn't know. I'm still learning. So I landed in Toronto at 6 a.m. Sunday morning. Emergency phone call my publicist. She's like, "Oh my God, did you hear what happened to Hugh Grant last night?" I'm like, "Holy fuck, did he die?" She's like, "Worse, much worse. He was arrested with a prostitute." And I'm Hugh's best friend, so I seriously asked, man or woman? Because, and it's not like if you're around British people, like you don't know. Just then.
They're all questionable?
Yeah. Just then he beeps into my phone. They had to call waiting. And he's like, "Buddy, mate, where are you, mate? Oh my God, you won't believe what happened last night, mate. I just got out of jail, mate. Holy shit, we have to get together and think of a lie to tell Elizabeth." And I'm like,
"Who's that, his wife?"
his girlfriend.
Oh, girlfriend. Oh,
And-
Hurley.
yeah.
Oh, she was hot.
And I'm like, did you think we were friends? Yeah. She was, but they were like brother and sister. I'll tell you what's so weird.
Well, by the way, I don't want to date my someone that's like my sister.
No, but they'd been, they just been together.
Was
so long.
Hugh serious when he said you guys, you're not friends once the movie's over? Was
Yeah,
that?
well, he's trying to tell me you can't be friends with everybody and do a movie with,
Yeah.
which is really true.
But it's kind of rude
Yeah,
to say.
well, it
She
is
should just
very
blow
rude.
you off. So wait a minute. Who did he pick up? What kind of prostitute was it?
Oh, nasty. It could have been a man.
Could have
And
been
he
a
did
man.
it very close to the improv.
Interesting.
Yeah, because we'd gone over the improv.
And you
Straight
know,
to the neighborhood.
you know who has to thank for that entire episode
Bud
more than
Freeman?
anybody? No,
What?
Jay Leno
Oh, yeah.
turned around his entire
Oh, my
show,
God.
the ratings.
Oh,
He
my
had
God,
Hugh Grant
completely.
on, and he
Agreed.
said, "What
Yeah, what
were
do
you
think? That was
thinking?"
great.
That was it.
I was on Letterman the same night, and Letterman goes, if I told you Tom Arnold and Hugh Grant did a movie together, and one of them got arrested with a prostitute, you would assume it'd be my next guest.
Yeah.
So nobody watched. Anyway, thank you.
Tom Arnold, unbelievable. I'm telling you, you'll come back on, right?
Yeah.
And we're best friends now.
Not tomorrow.
Now that
No,
we
we're
can text
definitely
each other.
friends.
Now that I blocked you, unblocked you.
Yeah, I will recognize you.
How many podcasts does a host block the guest
It's great.
during the episode?
It's a great story, though, for people listening, because this may happen to somebody else.
Yes, it's
And
interesting.
it's strange. It's technical. How does it work? And I'm grateful about that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Tom Arnold, not .com. It's Tom Arnold.
God damn it. TomArnoldComedy.com.
Yeah. Well, people will
And
find
the whole
you.
thing, and it's on, they have all the dates.
You're in Missouri this
Yeah, all over
weekend.
the country. You are everywhere. Boston.
Boston. Where are you
outside
playing in
of
Boston?
I don't know.
Springfield doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You
But
just
no,
stop.
Springfield-
You up
no,
on the private jet.
Cambridge, is that? No. I fly, I do fly first class.
Tom is an amazing guy. You do first
Yeah.
class. I don't tell us. There's not much of a difference anymore.
Yeah,
first
that's
class
true.
and coach. They
But it feels better.
treat us all like shit.
Yeah,
and it doesn't
true,
matter
but
where you
there
sit.
is a difference. I
A
have to
little
say.
bit,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I do fly in first class, and then the guy flies that helps me.
That could be
He's a funny little guy, man.
that guy Max that connected
yeah.
us.
Yeah, he hasn't done
He's
a lot of comedy, but he's man. He said, how do I? He opened for me in San Diego. He goes, how can I open for you more? I go, book me a tour.
Oh, so he's doing the tour.
Yeah,
But
he
he's
booked.
he's in coach, right?
Yeah, this weekend he got up because it's a 2-seat, 1-seat
Yeah.
plane. It did have first class, but everything's cheap. So he sat next to me.
We
And
should-
he's a little tiny guy, which makes it
Yeah.
good. He's like 5'2".
Well, we should thank him because he's
Yeah,
the reason
he's
that
very
this
cool.
happened.
Yeah, he
Because
is.
he contacted me and said, "Hey, would you have Tom Arnold on your
Yeah.
podcast?" I said, "I've been trying.
Yeah.
He's blowing me
Yeah.
off."
And he didn't believe me. He thought I was the one that wasn't returning. And I've said, fucker, look at my goddamn text messages. Look how many times I've returned. And he's like, so yeah, it all worked. But that's something I'm glad worked out.
Me too.
We'd have been like, that fucking guy says he'll do something. And then he blows me off. And I'm like, that guy asked me to do something. And then he blows me off. It's weird.
It's weird.
Yeah.
But it
now
worked
it's good.
out.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Episode 152, What's Wrong with Orny Adams? I want to thank all the listeners. I want to thank Eric for mastering the audio, everybody on my Patreon.
Is he here?
He's not here. It's nobody. I just do it all.
yeah.
And I edit all this.
Yeah.
And that's that. And this has been wonderful. And
Yeah.
I hope to see you do a show in Reduso,
Yeah.
Reduso, New Mexico, just
Okay.
like me. And we should do a show together sometime.
if there's a nuclear holocaust, you're going to be set.
I am.
You'll still have the same. You'll be talking to these cameras. Is everything is self-contained where you
Yeah.
live. It's nice. You're all set.
You're a man. You're
All
the
right.
man.
Do I touch this now?
No, you're done. Thank you so much.
Thank you, buddy. Yeah,
was amazing.
Everything's set up.